Do you remember last week we were talking about sourcing your own life? Last week we were talking about the idea that there's to be a connection between what you are in the deepest places of your being and that which you express into the world, right? Well, that's what we were talking about last week, and we were talking about setting up and not losing that connection. We were talking about the ways to access what you really feel, what you really think. That if your vibration is blue line, why pretend you're a purple squiggle, right? And the only way to access that which is what you are is to honor what you are, to give yourself permission to know what you feel and what you think. Well, these ideas are really preludes, I think, to the ideas that are important and empowering in terms of understanding the concept of career. Now, career, the way the world looks at it, because remember, the Course in Miracles says the world is upside down in its thinking. The thinking of the world is 180 degrees away from the thinking of God. So we spiritually grow by seeing what the thinking of the world is and knowing that the thinking of the world gets us nowhere, and to see instead what the thinking of God is, knowing that the thinking of God means the thinking of the natural order of the universe. The natural order of the universe makes embryos turn into babies. It makes seeds become flowers. It makes planets revolve around the sun. And that same natural principle of constant expansion and goodness and order would be more than glad to work through your life. Because just as the embryo becomes a baby because it's destined to, so are you destined to become a magnificent expression of all the power which is latent within you. The difference between you and what you were when you were an embryo is that when you were an embryo, you didn't have any choice in the matter. And now you do. There's something that you can do to interfere with the natural flow from deep within. And what we do by interfering is that we think thoughts which are not true. But your mind is simply a machine which reflects back to you what you're thinking. So if you're thinking that which is false, you pull unto you false experience. And what we mean by false is nothing other than non-loving. If you're thinking thoughts of this world that are not based on love, you bring forth experiences of this world that are not based on love. Now, the way the world looks at career, that's pretty obvious. We all basically know it. First of all, it's that you're going to have one career, and you're going to have a career, and we're all going to have this different career. And the reason we're in it, one of the things that it's based on is that we're going to make money. And then that will make us feel good about ourselves because we make money, and then the world is impressed and whatever. We all know the basic issue of career is according to the world. The issues of career, according to God, are very, very different. First of all, the lesson that we'll be doing later on in the morning, what we're going to meditate on is the lesson, I am among the ministers of God. In the Aquarian Gospel, he says that in the new age, the priesthood will no longer be some people over here who are the priests, and then there are the rest of us. But rather that all of us will access the priestly function. And in the Course in Miracles, when we meditate on the line, I am among the ministers of God, what we're accessing is information which tells us what our real career is on this earth. We all, everyone in this room, and everyone on this planet has the same career. It's just that the vast majority of us don't know it. Now, what's real in this earth is content, not form. And if you take care of content, form will take care of itself. Now, if the content of your work is that you're doing it in order to make money, let's say, then the form will simply follow. But if the content of your work is, I am here to minister to the children of God, what that means is that you access truth. Because what the Course in Miracles says is that you are not here to be healed alone. You know, that's a place where the Course in Miracles really is profoundly different from a lot of spiritual insight. It says, yes, you are on this earth in order to seek God, to seek the experience of oneness with Him, and to seek the peace that comes from that. But you're not supposed to stop there. What you were supposed to do, the second part of the formula, is that you were here to seek that in such a way as to bring other people the same comfort that you have found for yourself. Now, we've spoken before about the fact that when you look at the breakdown of an immune system in the human body, you might think of it as though there's been a breakdown in the immune system of the body of Christ. Because what an immune system is based on is not one cell or two cells or just one thing here or one thing there. An immune system is based on millions